friends. If you're here, it means you're most likely interested in trading, money, and the financial market. But let's be honest with you, because trading is not just about pressing buttons and making money. It is, of course, a well-thought-out strategy, precise calculation, and iron discipline. And here is one of the most important elements that will, of course, lead you to success. It's a properly crafted trading plan. And today we will figure it out together. How exactly to build this plan and why it is so important for stable income. And to mix theory with practice, I'll take a real strategy from an ordinary trader and test it right during the video. And just in case, I'll probably add some of my signature approaches, which I hope will also be able to improve the strategy's success rate. But that's in case the standard strategy doesn't satisfy me. So, I think it will be interesting. Get comfortable and watch until the end. Imagine, you entered a contract without a clear goal and suddenly the market went against you. So what will you do? Panic. Double the size of your deposit, or maybe just give up and run blindly to save yourself. Exactly. Beginners, of course, lose everything. It's scary, but it's true. And so far, nothing seems to work out. Let's go back to the British pound Swiss franc. Look, on this instrument, I will trade based on the trading plan. There is room to fall here. So I will... Actually, trying this will be my goal. But let's see what happens with the next two contracts. I'll try to open without overthinking, just like before, and see what comes of it. By the way, there are obvious signals downwards. Look, the Australian dollar to US dollar. So let's see what's next. There's no signal here, nothing as well. Oh, by the way, it seems we found something. Yes, great. Look, there's a clearly defined upward trend here. Let's mark it so we don't lose it. And now we'll just stand by and observe. I'll say this, friends, if you want to trade successfully, make sure to use your head, don't give in to excitement, and set clear goals. Always make it a rule to have general goals like wanting 1 million by a certain time. But step by step, specifically what leads to what, how it works in practice, I'll show you. It's not difficult. You just need to be patient. Look at this currency pair. It's an obvious situation because the price has started a correction. It is happening in the area where the quote was gaining volume. And because of this, an upward correction has formed, yes, in the downward movement. I think it will end in the near future, but the strength is quite significant, so my contract might get knocked out. But let's see. There's a chance that I might still end up in profit here. The red candle has also started to take shape. Let's distract ourselves with another asset for now. Let's see what's here. Well, everything is good here. The movement is calm. Okay, time is almost up. Yes, it seems we're locking it in. Great. Not so confidently, but I hope you got the point. Such a candlestick pattern, by the way, inspires confidence, and the trend calmly updates previous lows without encountering resistance. Friends, so first and foremost, your strategy should suit you and confidently answer questions like, for instance, which currency pairs, which indicators. Well, for example, you use pin bars or moving averages. Everything should be clearly outlined. Open the contract again. Here, as you understand, I entered as soon as I saw the signal. But it's best, of course, to carefully choose the entry point when we see this growing movement. It's best to enter on pullbacks, friends. I, however, entered at the last moment. Well, I think that... And there you go, the contract ended not in my favor. This is called a risk management plan. Alright, openings are happening. From the level, the closer the points of the previous reversal are to the current one, the more likely it is that the trend will be able to form a reversal. So, here is the last point from which you should enter a short. So far, the performance and strategy are normal. In fact, 4 out of 6 contracts are profitable, which means in principle, the success rate is 65%. Let's open the last 3 contracts using this technique, without considering the trading plan. There we go, perfect. We enter immediately, everything is clear, according to the strategy without hesitation. Look, here, it might be worth entering a short position, but not quite confidently. you need to regularly analyze your trades. And by the way, keeping a trading journal helps identify what works and what doesn't. Yes, it's like your personal diary, but instead of feelings, you fill in numbers. So next, let's take a look at other currency pairs. We won't dwell on this situation, we'll focus only on the goal. Look, all the conditions for selling are met here. The red line is on top, which means it's a sell trade. Super. Let's add the euro dollar. We'll keep an eye on the situation. Let's keep looking, friends, for another pair. And we'll continue with the analysis. Analysis is everything for us. Without it, you'll get lost. So let's see what's here. Great, more or less what we need, right, friends? Well, actually, that's approximately how I traded in the early stages. But of course, this is not exactly what you need for stable earnings in the market. So here, obviously, there will be a loss, not 100%, but with a high probability, I'm sure. I actually think that the situation, of course, it's quite amusing. One formula really helped me a lot when I first started learning to trade with a plan. I would simply ask myself the necessary questions before opening a contract. For example, why am I entering this trade? Does it align with my rules? I monitored my emotions, tried to understand the logic that drives me, and now I don't stick to it, and because of that, it's even a bit difficult for me because I, of course, got used to it. Well, I developed it as a habit, asking myself these questions. Now, to enter a trade, I need to completely ignore them. So, the first trade is at a loss. You can't go short here because the diagonal of the upward trend is confidently shifting upwards. Every bounce, look, happens with a strong impulse. Of course, you can wait until the price reaches its limits, but that takes time. And time, of course, is money. This is the most important part of trading. So guys, well, look here. What do we have here? There's a deviation downwards, which works in our favor. As I mentioned earlier, this is a great opportunity for a short contract because the price has reached recent highs where a resistance level is set, and naturally, it will move down from there. You can mark it for yourself in advance and wait for the price to touch the level to enter. Look, guys, and this could become part of our trading plan. That is, we would simply stick to this setup while simultaneously waiting for the right signal from the indicator. Then, accordingly, the percentage of profitable trades would double, I think. Yes, friends, there's a loss here. The price is in a flat. And we all understand the risks of such trading in the bookie ice by signals. So, but we only have one profitable trade out of 3, which is very bad. Such trading equates to a 50% success rate, not great. So now, friends, I'll show you how I'll trade by upgrading this entire strategy with my trading plan. Let's see what result we get from this. Look, for the setup, I'll take into account the fact that the price should have room to move. And we will determine this by the method of the previous trend and the nearest recent highs and lows. And here's the first spot where I'll enter for a decrease. Look, the first part of the plan is to determine the trend. In our case, it has a downward phase with very good selling volumes. Candle patterns, they show us everything. Next, we determine the distance the nearest candles can move. Got it? And the indicators, yes, they also confirm that a contract for a decrease is a great opportunity. Now, let's just observe. So let's search further. Now I will be more attentive and thorough in selection, because not every asset meets the condition. Because of this, of course, the opportunities for entry also decrease. Well, you need to be able to find a balance between quality and quantity. It's all logical here too. So no, friends, that's not it either. I think I'm about to find something. But nothing is coming up. That's not it either. So, look, there is a crossover in all the other conditions, right? But it would be better to zoom out the chart a bit and look at the situation as a whole. Yes, it's good to hold a position for an increase here. So let's do that. Great. Look, the price has room to move. Let's set a level. You don't need to set it exactly at that point. It's better to set it to the last place of consolidation to understand where a resistance reaction might occur. Let's observe now. I'll say right away that the percentage of profitable trades will increase for us, but there may still be some losing ones. Because there is no 100% guarantee, especially in earnings. In the market, especially in trading, that's my opinion in jukes. Understandable, sorry for the truth, yes, friends. Now you can see a reaction upwards, a slight correction. But in fact, this volume won't be enough to break the main downward movement. Therefore, I expect that we should have enough time to close. Yes, super, excellent. Here is our profit. Super. Now we are watching the last instrument, and probably the last part of our trading plan is risk management. As you might have noticed, I traded exclusively with a deposit of $100 and the size of my contracts was $1. And this is exactly what is called risk management, money management to be more precise. This trading at 1% of the total deposit is the main rule. That is, you can trade at 2%, but that's already for higher deposits. If you start with $50, then $1 will be exactly 2% of the deposit. The math is simple. And this is an integral part of how not to drain your deposit and truly learn to earn in the market. The process will seem quite labor-intensive, but it's worth it. It's not absolutely necessary to take exactly this strategy. On my channel, there are a million. You'll find strategies. Choose the one that is comfortable for you, the one you like more and understand better. So basically, take it. Great, the last contract also brought us profit. As you can see, it really works. You just need to use your head as well. We took 2 trades in a row in our favor. I don't want to turn this video into a search for currency pairs. Just try it yourself. Start with a demo account to get comfortable and then move on. You'll see the results immediately. Yes, this is the kind of statistics that will follow if you just tune yourself to the right wave. I'm not reinventing the wheel, guys. I'm just discussing the facts that we use. All successful traders, it's normal, it's basic. So guys, that's basically all. I've recorded everything I wanted, and I think I've said quite a lot already. Actually, I planned to boost the deposit again today, but I thought that this might be useful too. These will be your basics, yes, before you do anything in the market. All right, I'm wrapping up the session. Let's summarize.
Guys, what am I encouraging you to do? I encourage you to realize that a trading plan is not a boring routine. It is a very powerful tool, and it will certainly help you. And the simpler and clearer your trading plan is, the higher your chances of success will be. Print it out, I don't know, draw it on a board, create a poster, anything. Just keep it in front of your eyes and trade strategically only. Because the market loves those who are prepared, and you should be as prepared as possible, friends. Right now, you saw real trading happening on your screen. You saw how everything works, how everything is set up. Analysis, calculations, decision-making, absolutely everything will be yours too, if you make it a rule to follow your plan, of course. Please don't forget to like this video and click the bell to not miss new episodes. I thank you for being with me all this time. Follow the link to my Telegram channel, don't forget about that too. With that, I say goodbye to you. Wishing everyone good luck and only successful deals.